Make trapping great again. 2025, that's all I'm pushing, bro. Let me lay out the blueprint on how we can do this as a collective, because the industry is at an all-time low, bro. Let's just be honest. Unless we create some type of plan, some type of strategy to dig us out of this hole, there's no recovery for us, man. The industry is fucking cooked. I'm just keeping it 100, man. So let me lay you out this blueprint of how we can bounce back and make trapping great again, starting the second half of 2025. First, bro, we got to step it up, man. Stop fucking growing mids. This is to you growers out there. Stop fucking growing mids. Stop that shit, bro. Mids are 80% of the market. Yes, we know that. We know most people do not want to spend their money, and most people don't have a lot of money to spend. However, if you go to the grocery store and you want to buy some milk or you want to buy some eggs, can you grab that milk or can you grab those 12 eggs and go to the front and be like, hey, I only want to pay $1 for eggs? No, you can't do that shit. So stop bending your prices to the custos, man. And the more that we level up the product, the more that we perfect our craft and start actually producing some fire, some real genetics, some quality flour, the more we can take a stand and be like, no, bro, we're not allowing you to pay $20 for this eighth because this is not a $20 eighth. However, either the custo knows or there's too many mid trappers. There's too many people that shouldn't be in this game that got in this game for the wrong reason, bro. That's just what it is. A lot of y'all are just in the way. We got mid product. We got mid trappers, bro. That shit has to go, or it has to be kept at a minimum. Yes, there's always going to be people that got to get weeded out. There's always going to be people that come and go. But right now, this is at an all-time high. We got people who have never had any type of hustle, have never owned no type of business, don't even understand business, but they call themselves a trapper. They don't understand what a profit and loss statement is. They don't understand how to create a marketing strategy. They don't understand how to effectively use social media to build their brand. They don't understand what a brand is. However, they think just because they bought an $800 bag and it was marketed to them as ZA, as indoor, when we know it wasn't, it's probably light assist, they think they're a trapper. These people, we got to weed them out of the game. We got to raise the standard of what it needs to be to become a trapper, bro. You can't just join the NBA. It's certain requirements and prerequisites that you need in order to become an NBA player. You have to be a top high school player. You got to be a top college player. And then potentially, even then, it's not guaranteed. And then potentially, you may be able to make the NBA. However, with trapping, bro, anybody can become a trapper. There is no barrier to entry unless, sometimes you don't even need any money, bro. You can get a front. You can get a handout from a person that already got a handout. That's how backwards it is. You can get a front from somebody else who got a front. From somebody else who got a front. It's 3 people who got fronts that shouldn't be in the game, but just because they've never been educated on what it really takes to be successful in this industry, they feel like they got something to stand on. And this is where I'm saying we got to raise the standard. We got to push for more quality. We got to stop with this quantity, bro, because this quantity has destroyed the market. There's more mids than ever. Yes, there's always going to be a place for mids. However, there isn't an oversaturation of quality product. There's an oversaturation of mids. And if most people are selling mids, which they are, what do you think that is going to do to the price? It's going to crash it because you have mids, you have mids, you have mids, you have mids. It's 20 different trappers in one small area. Everybody has the same product. Nobody has real quality product. Nobody has a brand. Nobody has a marketing strategy. Nobody has a social media following. So what else are they going to do to compete for the customer? They're going to fucking drop the price, bro. That's why I say we got to step it up, bro. This is natural selection, man. People come, people go. But over the course of time, the more people that go are people that shouldn't be here. And that's what we need to do. once we raise the standard. And that's just going to happen naturally. But if we just allow the standard to be mediocre, that just allows for more mediocre people to be in the game and to be in this industry. So that's what I mean, man. We got to push out quality product, quality customer service, quality marketing strategies, quality branding. Everything's got to be top tier, bro. Because once people see like, oh, this is not something that I could just goof around and do on the side and this is fun. No, this is a real business. That's going to make the cannabis industry less attractive to the novice, to the people that are just looking for a little side hustle. Because anybody who really has made any significant income within this industry, everybody knows that this shit is not easy, bro, but it's been marketed by the music, on social media, by certain influencers, that it's easy to sell weed when it's not. Yes, anybody can sell weed, but anybody cannot be good at selling weed. Everybody is not going to be successful, bro. And we've allowed this to go on for too long, man. That leads into my next point. We got to take back control of the market, the trapper and the grower, bro. The custo does not control the market, and now the custo does, bro. In 2025, the custo controls the market. We've let the custo determine the prices for the market because we got all these fucking sloppy trappers. We got these people that put their last $5,000 into a bag, and then when they can't get it off, they're fire selling and cutting the prices into oblivion just to get off the bag so they can just break even or make $100, bro. It's not one person doing that. It's hundreds of people across hundreds of markets across America doing that same thing, bro, because we've allowed anybody and everybody just to come into this industry and become a culture vulture off of it. They haven't put in the work, bro. They haven't earned the right to sell a bag. But due to Telegram, due to social media, it's more accessible than it ever was. Due to technology, that's what's going to happen. Things become easier to get in, but that doesn't mean that it still is going to be attractive. That's what I mean, man. Once we raise up the standards, bro, it's going to make it way less attractive for these people to want to come and join, bro. The trapper and the grower, bro, we got to take control back of the market. Man, the grower and the trapper sets the pricing for the market, bro. Like what I said, bro, you can't go into a grocery store and tell them what you want to pay. No, the grocery store puts, hey, eggs are $8, bro. Either take it or leave it. You think people are not going to buy eggs? Same thing with weed, bro. You think people are not going to buy weed? Bro, they are. It's an essential for most people, bro. And if we raise the quality of the weed, if it's more common to have higher quality weed, guess what happens to the price? The price shoots back up, bro, because there's more weed out here that is higher quality. There's no choice for people to buy, for the trappers to buy, for the customers to buy higher quality weed. So now that's what you got to pay for the weed, bro. That's how it was 10 years ago, bro. But the main problem, bro, is that people are purposely growing mids. They're either purposely growing mids like the Chinaman, or they've been tricked. They've been bamboozled. They've been scammed. They believed in somebody who sold them some lights, some nutrients, some living soil, and told them that, oh, if you get all this, you're going to grow exotic. They've been tricked, bro, but that's not how it works, bro. You need experience. You need the genetics. It takes time, bro. You can't just rush this. It's a process with anything in life. Just because you buy all this fancy equipment, you buy a 10,000 square foot warehouse, that does not mean you're going to grow exotic, bro. It does not. It takes time, bro. You may have to invest 30,000 into a cut, bro. You may have to invest 30,000 into a cut. And then even after you invest that 30,000 into a cut, you got to figure out, is it going to take time to really understand how to best grow it, how to best maximize those specific genetics that you spent $30,000 on. But no, people want to rush this entire process, bro. You want to buy these seeds, this auto flower, bro. Why do you think you can grow better flower in a short amount of time, bro? How does that make any sense? You're telling me we can get a better quality product in a shorter amount of time? Who believes these lies? There's no shortcuts to anything. Anything great takes time, bro. But you let these snake oil salesmen trick you into believing this shit. 40 days, 40-day flowering time, bro. Why do you think that makes sense? It doesn't. Man, stop fucking growing those mids, bro. You mid-ass trappers. The door's right there, bro. If you know you're not supposed to be in this game, bro, get a job, bro. If you haven't made $35K in a year, get a job. If you can't make minimum wage from trapping, from this industry, it's not for you. I'm sorry, bro. There's no other way to put it. I don't know how else you want me to phrase it. This shit is not for everybody. Everything isn't for everybody. And that's what we've allowed. We've allowed the shit to be mediocre. We've allowed people to put out subpar product, to be subpar trappers, to have subpar customer service, to have subpar branding, subpar marketing, bro. We've allowed this for too long. So in 2025, we need to come together. The trapper and the grower needs to take back control of the market if we want to recover, if we want to dig ourselves out of this hole, and we want to see $40 ace, bro. We got to start growing the fire, bro. Stop growing this bullshit. Stop growing these mids. And once we do that, bro, we can make trapping great again. So if this video provided you with any type of value, please like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new. And until next time, peace. I'm out, man.